Terrorists blow up bridge linking Luma Babana and Aguara communities in Bogu local government area of Niger State. Inspector General of Police Olatunji Disu warns newly promoted officers across the state against corruption, abuse and indiscipline. And a National Population Commission seeks internal funding mechanism to strengthen reliable data collection. And this is Abuja Report on AIT. I am Oyebimpe Wealth. Welcome. Nigeria's Inspector General of Police Olatunji Disu has issued a strong warning to newly promoted senior officers, declaring zero tolerance for corruption, abuse of office, and indiscipline across the force. The warning delivered during a decoration ceremony for newly elevated Assistant Inspectors General and Commissioners of Police at the force headquarters in Abuja.
This promotion is not a reward. It is a responsibility. It places you under greater scrutiny and demands a higher standard of leadership, judgment, and conduct. From this moment, you are no longer just senior officers. You are strategic leaders of this institution. You are expected to lead from the front. Your actions, decisions, and personal conduct must reflect discipline, integrity, and absolute respect for the rule of law. You must take full responsibility for the conduct of your personnel.
This chief stressed that supervisors would be held accountable not only for operational outcomes, but also for the conduct of officers under their command.
This is not optional. It is a core operational principle. You must ensure that policing in your jurisdiction is driven by professionalism, respect for human rights, and representing the need of the public. Our officers must be visible, approachable, and accountable. The era of policing that alienates the people is over. We must build trust deliberately and consistently. Intelligence gathering, crime prevention, and effective law enforcement are all striking when the public has confidence in us.
IGP also announced a strategic leadership retreat for senior officers beginning March 24th, aimed at strengthening professionalism and aligning the force with modern policing standards. And police in Niger State have confirmed that terrorists operating in the forest areas of Bogo local government area have blown up a bridge linking two communities of Luma Babana, Aguara, using explosive devices. Spokesman for the police superintendent Wasiu Abiodun, who confirmed this in a statement, said the incident occurred on March 23rd at approximately 6:30 a.m.
According to Superintendent Abiodun, the destruction of the bridge was an apparent attempt by the hoodlums to undermine ongoing security operations in the area. The police spokesman, however, assured that security agencies have intensified clearance operations. At the time of filing this report, the police say continuous monitoring of the situation is ongoing to ensure the safety of residents and the restoration of order. It could be recalled that in recent months, Niger State has witnessed a surge in terror-related violence, including deadly attacks by suspected terrorists on communities and markets that have heightened fear among residents and stretched local security responses. Zakari Omale, AIT News, Mina.
Accountant General of the Federation, Anemekwe Mbogo, has been sentenced to 72 years imprisonment for money laundering by a federal high court in Abuja. The trial judge, James Omotosho, while delivering judgment, held that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission proved its case against Mbogo.
Mwaboko, who was arraigned on an amended 9-count charge bordering on money laundering and fraud to the tune of 868.4 million naira, was convicted on all 9 counts and sentenced to 8 years imprisonment on each count, amounting to a cumulative 72 years. The court, however, ordered that the sentences run concurrently. The trial judge described Nwaoboku's diversion of funds meant for security and defense while serving as a director of finance and accounts at the Ministry of Defense as appalling. The judge also commended the EFCC for what he described as a meticulous prosecution of the case, noting that testimony of the 9th prosecution witness that Nwaoboku voluntarily refunded over 200 million naira during the investigation was not challenged by the defense. In the charge that was filed in 2024, the anti-graft agency accused Nwaoboku of conspiring with several companies to convert funds suspected to be proceeds of unlawful activities. The alleged offense, according to the EFCC, contravenes Section 18 of the Money Laundering Prohibition Act 2011 as amended by Act No. 1 of 2012 and is punishable under Section 15, Subsection 3 of the Act. The Commission said Nwaoboku committed the offences while serving as the Director of Finance and Accounts in the Ministry of Defence between 2019 and 2021. The former Acting Accountant General had filed a no-case submission which was dismissed by the court in November 2025. He was appointed Acting Accountant General of the Federation on May 20, 2022 by the then President Muhammadu Buhari following the suspension of Ahmed Idris over alleged 80 billion naira fraud. Nwaoboku was, however, removed from the position in July 2022, barely weeks after assuming office, following reports that he was under EFCC investigation.
Now, the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission is set to arraign the former governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasiru El-Rufai, and one Joel Adoga at the Federal High Court of Nigeria in the Kaduna Judicial Division on Tuesday, the 24th March 2026. The suit with number FHC KD 73-2026 as charges ranging from conversion of and possession of public property to money laundering.
The case, filed under suit FHC/KD/73/2016, includes charges ranging from alleged conversion and possession of public property to money laundering offenses. In a parallel development, the ICPC confirmed that a separate charge has been instituted against El-Rufai and another individual, Amadou Sule, before a Kaduna State High Court. The case marks KDH/KAD/ICPC/01/26 involves allegation of abuse of office, fraud, intent to commit fraud, and conferring undue advantage. The Commission noted that both charges were formally filed on March 18, 2026, and that El-Rufai has been duly served in accordance with legal procedures. While arraignment date for the State High Court case is yet to be announced, the ICPC emphasized that proceedings will follow due judicial processes as determined by the court. Reaffirming its institutional stance, the Commission stated that it remains committed to upholding due process and the rule of law in all its procedural actions. The development marks a significant moment in Nigeria's ongoing anti-corruption efforts, particularly involving high-profile public office holders. Ebuwa Omo Osaigi, AIT News, Abuja.
Now, the Indigenous Stakeholders Forum of the African Democratic Congress in the FCT has called on the party leadership to do the needful by ensuring that FCT indigenous people are meaningfully involved in all structures of the party at all levels. The chairman of the forum, Musa Tale, made the call during a media conference in Abuja.
The FCT African Democratic Congress ADC Indigenous Stakeholders Forum expressed deep concerns over the recent developments surrounding the suspension of the party's leader, Senator Ireti Kinkibe, who represents the Federal Capital Territory at the Senate, and the counter-suspension by the opposing group. The Indigenous Stakeholders Forum said they are not comfortable with such decisions are capable of creating unnecessary crises within the party in the FCT.
We are worried that ADC, which is currently one of the leading opposition parties in Nigeria, should not find itself in this midst of internal crisis. We are calling on those who took the case to court that they should withdraw the case immediately and let's settle it amicably within ourselves.
They said Nigeria deserves better in all aspects of human development, and ADC represents that better choice. They noted that the ADC is the only credible alternative party and a platform built on progressive ideals, people-centered governance, and the promise of a new political culture that puts citizens first.
As indigenous people of the Federal Capital Territory, we demand inclusion, not as a favor, but as a right. We call on the party leadership to do the needful by ensuring that FCT indigenes are meaningfully involved in all structures of the party.
They insisted that as the country approaches the 2027 general elections, it is imperative that all parties involved act with a sense of responsibility and urgency to ensure unity, stability, and progress for ADC, both in the FCT and across Nigeria. Dimas Nanzeng, AIT News, Abuja.
The Progressive Governors Forum of the All Progressive Congress has resolved to retain the party's current national leadership, ruling out any move to rezone key positions. The decision was reached on Monday after a meeting of governors on the platform of the APC in Lagos. Chairman of the forum and Governor of Imo State, Uzodinma, who briefed journalists after the meeting, said the governors agreed that there was no justification for altering the party's leadership structure while President Bola Ahmed Tinubu remains in office. The communique issued at the end of the meeting, signed by Uzodinma, says it deliberated on national development, the responsibilities of state leadership, and the role of progressive governors in translating federal reforms into tangible benefits for citizens. The governor reaffirmed their commitment to democratic stability, principled governance, and the renewed hope agenda of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration. And this is Abuja Reports on AIT, reaching you live from Akpaduma EU Studios in Nasokoro. Here's a reminder of our top stories. Terrorists blow up a bridge linking Luma, Babana and Aguara communities in Abogu local government area of Niger State. Inspector General of Police Olatunji Disu warns newly promoted officers across the state against corruption, abuse, and indiscipline. And a National Population Commission seeks internal funding mechanism to strengthen reliable data collection. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Abuja Reports on AIT. Persistent limitations in census-taking implementation and incomplete coverage of the civil registration and vital statistics system due to funding gaps continue to affect data reliability in Nigeria. This was the focus of discussion at the launching of the 13th Annual Population Lecture Series report in Abuja with the theme Emerging Global Funding's Realities, Impact on Population Activities and the Need for Innovative Domestic Resources Mobilization. Kuje is one of the 6 area councils in the Federal Capital Territory with 10 wards. A visit to Kuje by AIT crew reveals some of the challenges faced by inhabitants of the communities that makes up the area council. Electricity is a major concern as it affects almost all facets of their lives. Electricity in the area is said to be epileptic despite the huge monthly bill.
I live in Bamishugo Ward. So the light situation, we are having challenge, mostly. They will not took the light, they will not even inform us. If there is any challenge, they will not let us to know. They will be just go and took the light. Sometimes we do 3 days, 4 days without no light. At the end of the day, they will still come with the bill.
They don't used to bring light for us. If they bring light just 2 minutes or 1 minute, they don't take the light again. We don't know other Nigeria or the government, they don't know us. We don't know, so we are complaining about that, seriously.
Residents of communities like Bamishi, Buzukure, Sauka Extension, among others in the Kuje Area Council, appealed for government intervention.
They should come and make the electricity improve more. You understand? You know, when you are paying for something, You have to see what you are paying for. You understand? But when you are paying for something that you do not see what you are paying for, you're so much frustrated.
Maybe you cook soup, you don't have light. If you don't have light to keep your food in the freezer, it will spoil. So we are appealing to the government to give us light. We need light. We need stable light. Not the one they will bring today, tomorrow will not have till 3 days. We need stable light. That is what we want.
They noted that once electricity challenge in the area is solved, it will boost the economy of the area and the nation at large. Oyebimpe Wealth, AIT News, Abuja. We apologize for the mix-up in that visual. We'll bring you the visual for that report in our subsequent bulletin. Now, as activities marking the Women's Day celebration winds down, stakeholders are intensifying calls for increased investment in women's health and economic empowerment. During an event organized by the Nail Bar in Abuja, stakeholders reaffirmed their mission to support women in discovering their potential, improving their well-being and contributing meaningfully to national development.
We're here today to celebrate 15 years of service, of maintaining standards, consistency. I've always been passionate about it because, you know, there's just a wholesome impact that comes with the beauty industry. And it's lovely to see people walk away feeling better than they came in.
Just stick to your vision. And no matter what the circumstance is saying, just stick to what your heart is telling you that you can make it. And even when something says you can't make it, just keep pushing. Keep pushing. Consistency pays.
Now, developments, they are also advocating for structural support from the government, particularly in recognizing and strengthening the beauty and wellness industry, an area where many women are actively engaged.
So the young people out there, just stick to it, be methodological, make sure that you have your facts right, and really the sky is your limit. Nigerian youth, they're gifted, they're really gifted, and we just need to put in that extra effort and keep supporting them.
So I feel like the first access that we need is not just even funding, it's not tools, it's not machineries, it is information. It is information. We need information to survive as entrepreneurs.
Stakeholders are investing in women's health and creating opportunities for entrepreneurship will not only transform lives, but also strengthen the broader economy. And that's Abuja Report on AIT. I am Oyebimpe Wealth. Thanks for staying with us.